Cambodia has just dropped some massive economic news, a trade boom worth over $36 billion. So today, we're going to dig into how this Southeast Asian nation is pulling this off and what's really fueling this incredible growth.
Okay, let's just start with that huge number right up front, $36.39 billion. And get this, that's Cambodia's trade with just one specific group of countries, and only in the first 11 months of the year. That's a 16% jump from the year before. I mean, that is massive. So what on earth is going on here?
And that really brings us to the core question we're tackling today. What is the engine behind this record-breaking growth? This isn't just a random spike. There is a very powerful force at play here, and it's absolutely the key to understanding Cambodia's entire economic strategy.
And that engine? Well, it's called the RCEP. We're going to break this powerful agreement down to see exactly how it's reshaping Cambodia's place in the global economy.
So, what is RCEP? Well, to put it simply, it's the biggest free trade agreement on the planet. It brings together 15 different countries across the Asia-Pacific. We're talking major players like China, Japan, and Australia, all into one giant trading bloc. The whole idea is to make trade way easier and cheaper for everyone involved.
For a country like Cambodia, the benefits are very, very real. The deal means lower taxes on its goods, simplified customs paperwork, which really just translates to less bureaucracy and getting things shipped faster. All of this gives Made-in-Cambodia products a huge competitive edge across the entire region.
All right, so we've covered the what's and the how. Now let's dive a little deeper. Let's really look at the data, the numbers behind this economic boom.
Now, this is where the story gets really interesting. When you look at these numbers, you see exports to these countries hit about $8.85 billion, which is a solid 6% increase. That's great. But then, whoa, look at that import number, $27.54 billion. Now, your first thought might be, that's a huge trade deficit. But hold on. This is actually a sign of some serious growth. See, Cambodia is importing things like raw materials for its factories and all the supplies needed for construction. It's basically building up its industrial muscle right before our eyes.
And this really puts it all into perspective. More than 61% of Cambodia's total trade with the entire world now happens with its RCEP partners. It's not a coincidence. It's a crystal-clear strategic shift toward tying its economic future to the region.
So who are the biggest players in this new arrangement? Well, the top 5 are all right in the neighborhood. China is leading the pack, followed by Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, and Singapore. This really just underscores how deeply connected the economies of Southeast and East Asia are becoming.
What's also cool is that this trade boom is helping Cambodia build a much more diverse economy. Of course, the traditional stuff like textiles and footwear, they're still really important. But now the country is successfully branching out. We're seeing real growth in higher value products, things like auto parts, electronic components, bicycles, and even processed agricultural goods. That kind of diversification is absolutely crucial for long-term economic health.
But the impact of RCEP, it goes way beyond just the numbers on a trade balance sheet. It's creating something that officials are starting to call an economic magnet effect. And this quote right here from H.E. Pen Sovachit at the Ministry of Commerce, it really says it all. He calls the RCEP agreement a magnet. And that's the key. It's not just about selling more stuff today, it's about pulling in that long-term foreign investment for tomorrow. Big global companies are now looking at Cambodia and thinking, hey, this is the perfect spot, a strategic hub to tap into that entire 15-nation market.
So what this all really means is that RCEP is so much more than a trade deal. For Cambodia, it's a long-term development tool. It creates a stable, predictable trade environment that helps shield its economy from global shocks, like, say, sudden changes in demand from Western markets. So, with this incredible foundation in place, you have to ask, what's next? How is Cambodia planning to capitalize on all this momentum as we head towards 2026 and even further?
Well, the government is zeroing in on 2 key priorities. First up is the digitalization of trade. Making it even easier and faster for businesses to operate online. And second is what's called human capital development, which is really just a fancy way of saying they're investing in the skills and education of their people to meet the demands of these more complex, modern industries.
And the ultimate goal here, it's incredibly ambitious. The plan is to literally transform Cambodia's economy from one built on basic manufacturing into a modern powerhouse for high-tech production and advanced agriculture. It's all about moving up the global value chain, making more complex, more valuable products.
So this really leaves us with one big, fascinating question, doesn't it? With this powerful RCEP engine firing on all cylinders, can Cambodia actually pull it off? Can it become Asia's next high-tech hub? I mean, the groundwork is clearly being laid, and you can bet the world is watching. We'll have to see.